Started out alive, man, that was the play. Streaming every night, building up the sway. But as the sight faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms, surfing through the fray. Got my crew behind me, yeah, we call them givers. Chillin' IRL, catching all the rivers. Farkle in the chat, bringing loss to the grind. Talking crypto games while we sippin' Jack Fine. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. New Zealand vibes, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite. Community so solid, always shining bright. Rolling, rolling deep and cruising for the height. From the struggle to the stream, it's all just a game. But with the giver found, we're making our name. Tracking crypto profits, life just gets sweeter. Every view and every stream, making life a keeper. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. So here's to the journey, no regrets in sight. Each laugh and each tear, it's a beautiful fight. Keep the wave rolling, let the good vibes flow. We're the givers, together in the show. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. Script how we play a game. From start to next time, chasing fame. With the year behind me, changing scenes. So through the internet, living out the dream. Got my acoustic strum, curing and chill for cracking jokes. Go fuck the thrill. In the land of King Weeds, we ride the waves. Our road streams phone, no better days. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme.
Hello, the internet. It is Saturday, the 29th of November, 2025, and welcome back to the channel. I want to do this to, number one, hold myself accountable. I want to do this to get this out there and then to move on. I want to do this stream because I introduced you to Sophia. I want to do this because it's important for me to move on. I'm not going to be addressing the chat. I'm going to do this in two parts. I'm going to talk about Sophia dumping me and about my response and about where that takes me from there. And then I'm going to take a pause. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to address this community and the trust issues. I'm going to get through this. I've made notes that I'm going to read from, or bullet points that I'm going to address so I don't miss anything. I'm going to get through this and then we are going to make some kind of decision on what happens here from here on in. Let me just bring up my notes. Okay, so I want to talk about the breakup between Sophia and myself. First up, I do not agree with her decision to end our relationship. The bulk of this stream will be me explaining why I'm going to split this into two parts. Up front, I'll discuss the breakup, and then I'll take a pause and address the concerns of trust within this community. I just said that, but I had that written down, so I didn't want to miss it. I've got these points that are written down so I don't miss this. Anyway. So for the most of you, you'll know that I've been in a committed relationship with Sophia since around about June this year. We did meet earlier than that, but I would suggest maybe we weren't committed at the point of meeting because she didn't want a committed relationship. And I haven't been in a relationship since 2013. Now you can say, well, what about that German girl and what about that other girl? No, none of the things or the flings that since Haley, which is 2013, since then, I've kept myself to myself. I haven't opened up. I haven't opened up to anybody. I've kept myself very selfish. I've lived a very selfish life. I've foregone friendships. I've foregone opportunities. At one point in my life in 2013 or 2012, I had the fucking everything. I had it all. I had Adelaide on a fucking hook, line and sinker. And since that breakup, I've said to myself, I'm not going down that road ever again. I am staying. I don't give a flying fuck about relationships. And that's why I treated the ones that did come to me, that's why I treated them so poorly. Kat, if you're watching, I apologize. I treated you very poorly. I did not want you in my life. I did not want you to meet my family. I did not want you to be a part of my family. I just wanted to have mindless fun with you. She got the idea pretty quick and she moved. She just left, and I get it. I get that. And then Felicia, the German girl, treated her so poorly. Like, no shit, right? And I understand that. Like, I know why I did that. I did that to protect myself, to stop myself from ever getting into the position I found myself in when Haley dumped me. And so when I met Sophia, here it is, 13 years later, and this beautiful girl, I'm hearing her and I'm listening and I'm like, this girl is amazing. Didn't really see her up close until later, but wow. And I fell for her. She says, I don't want a committed relationship. I'm in the process of moving to Tasmania. I get it. Okay, what do? We just hang out, have a good time, enjoy each other's company, and we move on from there. Now, I went off script a little there. I'm going to get back onto the script. So yeah, we met in May, and then by June we were committed. By June, it was like, no, this is worth something. Let's commit to each other. What does that mean for Tasmania? We don't know. We'll work that out as we go. Let's make a commitment and we'll see how this thing rolls. And me, in my mind, I'm ready. I am ready. After 13 years, I'm ready to change up, to change my existence. I'm ready to move to Tasmania. I'm down for it. She's a little more reluctant because obviously it's a big thing, right? You know, you've just met somebody, but we fell in love and we shared so much commonality, so many similar takes on people. People are all cunts. Yes, they are. People are cunts, whether you like it or not. Anyway, so we knew it would be tough. We both agreed to take it on and go with it. Now, Sophia has a history of mental health disorders, which stem back to a trauma of hers from the age of 13. She's been heavily medicated since the age of 13. Before meeting her, I had never met anybody like this. I had never even used the term mental health or mental health disorder. I'd heard of it. You hear it every now and then in the news and whatever, but I'd never had any connection to it. So I went into this with, okay, what's this? Mental health? What are you talking about? What's going on? Explain it to me. And she did. She explained in detail. She opened up to me multiple times early in our relationship. She sat me down and said, this is the drug that I'm on. It does this for my brain. Then I need this drug to do this for my brain. And that's how I live. I live in a constant state of up and down, uppers and downers. I have to have them to get through the day, and I have to have those to get through the night. And somewhere there's the equilibrium. And then sometimes all hell breaks loose and other things come into play. Sensory overload, dysregulation. I was going to say dismemberment, not dismemberment. Disassociation. These other things come into the play. And I was all like, I'm not making this up. I was sitting there getting an education and I was learning from her. But to be fair, the bulk of the time when she was talking, I was just looking at how fucking beautiful she was. She is a you guys never met her because she takes her online privacy extremely seriously. She is the most beautiful. She is a stunningly beautiful woman. And by the way, not my type. I'm more into blonde girls. You all know that. I meet this brunette. She absolutely blows my mind, like incredibly beautiful. And I'd sit there just watching her talk, looking at her eyes, looking at her mouth. Her hair would fall down. She hates her nose. I fucking loved that little nose. It was a little cute little nose. She hated it. Her hair would fall out. It was just beautiful. So she'd tell me this stuff. And I got a shit memory anyway. So half of it would just go over my head and I'd forget it. As the moment she's told me, I'd be like, this what? To run that by me again, I'd forget about it. And then the problem there, or the point there, is that it's such an important part of her life that I probably should have taken a closer ear instead of just being in the moment. I should have just been able to sit back and just take it on. But I was just lost. I was lost. She opened up to me from the very beginning, telling me in detail the medications and the responses from her body and why her brain does not function the way other brains do. I thought all brains were the same. I mean, it's probably a blessing they're not, because if you've got the same brain I have, let me tell you, you're in trouble. This brain is cuckoo. I found it all very interesting, and my attraction to her grew even more because of this. And it's weird to think back on, but her health concerns were a unique situation, one that I'd never encountered before. And I knew that she was different to any other girl I'd met, and I'd listen to her and I'd learn. And I liked that. Like we spent countless nights just sitting there. Like, well, we spent lots of time talking, right? Just talking about her mental health. She shared documents with me. She shared me her documents, her medical synopsis, all the details that it's usually private to you and your doctor. By the way, I see comments in the chat. I'm not going to address the chat. I'm here to deliver this, and then when we come back, we can talk. I appreciate you being here watching, but I'm not going to address the chat. I'm here just to talk about this situation. So yeah, I found it intriguing, and I would listen, and I was wondering what the role I would take in her life would be. Like, what kind of role can I offer her aside from a lover and like a confidant? But what else can I like? They say, and I did my research. They say that you should never try to help. Rewind. You should always try to help someone, but you can never fix them. Right? My job, if you like, was not to fix her. That's not my role. I was never meant to fix her, but I have the ability to learn with her, sympathize. I don't have her disorders. I can't empathize, but I can sympathize with her, and I can be there, and I can be the ear for her, and I can lend myself to her to help her. Now, in the form of her in the process of moving to Tasmania, that help obviously came in the form of me doing physical jobs, like manual labor. I'm not very good with that stuff, but whatever I could do to help. She was packing down a house, putting it in boxes, and then moving interstate. So I could be there to assist in whatever the role would be in that sense, such as, she had trouble selling her vehicle. I offered, look, leave it here. If you don't sell it for the price you want, leave it here. I'll deal with it. And when it sells on Marketplace, I'll just send you the money. Like all those kind of things, right? Like helping with boxing and, if anything, helping take her mind off the move, because moving is a horrible experience. So there I am in that role, and we're committed to her, and I get to meet her parents on the night before she moves. Before then, I'd met her mother on the phone. She's a lovely woman, beautiful South African accent, such a lovely woman. I was supposed to call her auntie. That's more Kiwi, bro. She told me to call her auntie, and Sophia looks at me and she's like, auntie? She never said that before. Why would she want? It was a thing. She got me to call her auntie. I called her auntie for a while. Lovely, right? Like a lovely, warm, welcoming gesture. And then they all came up here from Tassie to pick up Sophia. And then the next day she was gone, right? So she was out of my life. Physically, not mentally, because we're still together, but in the sense of she was once here, and she was here a few times. She did the pop in here and met my family. By the way, can I just interject? I'm going off script here, but when she popped in and met my family, I did a big step back and went, well, all right, we've just crossed that bridge. I actually dumped a girl, or a girl dumped Kat. Hello, Kat, if you're watching. She dumped me because I would not let her meet Baxter and Claudia and my family. She wanted to meet them, and I said, no, you're not going to meet them. This is my family. We're having our relationship. And she's like, well, then I'm done. And she scooted, which is completely understandable. The difference with Sophia, she just turned up here. One day I'm there and she's like, the message, and she's like, check outside or open the gate or something. I'm like, what the fuck? She's out there with her dog. And so I'm like, hey, by the way, my sister and my mum, hey, by the way, Sophia's here. So, and they're like, what? We're in my pajamas. Like, well, here she comes. She's so rad. Like, how to meet the parents, just fucking turn up one off the cuff. Like, that's... All right, look. Let me get back to the script. Okay, so she's in Tassie now. In the first 2 months of her being there, I flew down to visit her for 10 days. I also booked another ticket for Christmas. The plan was to then drive down in March 2026 with GoVan, do a road trip around Tassie for a while. She doesn't like camping, but she agreed that she might come out for 1 or 2 nights maximum, and then I'd continue on driving and come back to her place and use the shower and then go back out on do road trips. And I wanted to explore Tassie. I wanted to share with her as best as I could. She's not into camping, but she did agree. That was the plan. And then we talked about after March, what would that look like? What would the scenario paint itself out to be? Obviously, there's going to be some kind of a permanent move where I'm going to move to Tasmania. Obviously, right? Like, you can't expect a relationship to exist where one person lives one place and one person lives the other place. It's not practical, right? Like, obviously. I've toured with Tracer. I've been interstate. I've been overseas for months at a time. You need to be coming home to your girl. You need that. And I get that. And that's why I was prepared to forego all of this to be with her, because you don't meet someone so rad often. And for me and for her, she's been out of a relationship for her last relationship before she met me was 8 years ago. Mine was 13. So we're very similar, and we had this, and we knew that's what was going to happen. We talked about it. Okay, to be fair, we didn't talk about the specifics. We didn't talk about the details, but we talked about the concept that, yes, obviously I'll be coming down there and we'll look at what that means. Whether that means I live with her, or whether that means I get a place near her, or whether that means I live in the nearest city to her, or whether that means I live in a bigger city further away. What job I would get, I don't give a flying fuck. I would go back to working in restaurants to be with her. I'd go and work in a fucking kitchen to be with her. There was one not far from her that I eyeballed. They had okay pizzas. I was ready to do anything to make this, to be with her. I was ready to do it. And why not? Like, fuck, why not? Life, man. Like, ask me this 8 months ago, I would be like, fuck, Tasmania, I like the place, I'm never going to go there. Then I meet this girl, I'm going to go and live there. That's the way life moves. It goes up, it goes down, it goes around, it sideswipes, does all that stuff, right? And I mean, I've always embraced that. I've always been, one time my ex-girlfriend, long time ago, the one I made the video of, the one I made that short film with, her quote was, how old were we? Like 20 or something, 24, 23. She's like, I know you're happy living out of a backpack forever and ever, but I want something for myself later. I want a stable house and this and that. I'm like, I want to live out of a backpack. I don't give a flying fuck. I can live out of a backpack as long as I need to. The point of it is, for as long as I've been alive, I've always embraced the changes, the ups, the downs, the challenges, if you like, and I've rolled with it. And when I met Sophia, the challenges were obviously the main one, her mental health conditions, big challenge, right? Huge challenge. And then if that's not enough, how about this? I'm going to leave you and I'm going to move to another fucking state. That's a big challenge, right? That's a huge challenge. But I said to myself, either I'm in or I'm out. And if I'm in, I am in, all in. I'm not going half-assed here. I'm doing this or I'm not doing it at all. And thank fuck she was the same. She's like, let's do this. Okay, so truth be told, we hadn't spoken too deeply about the logistics, blah, 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 blah. So one of her requirements is her meds, right? So she's obviously heavily medicated. I mentioned before she has the uppers, the downers. She needs them to exist. Now, I never knew this, but you know, you can't just like, I'll talk about this in a little while, but you know, you can't just get a script for shit and just like, if I've got a script from my GP, I can't just go to Tasmania on a road trip and then go and cash that script out, or not cash it out, use it. I don't know what the term was. These drugs here, which I will discuss later, these are scheduled drugs and you need a script. My point is, I can't take this script down to Tassie and just fill it. That's the word, fill. So she has, these are schedule something. She told me about these scheduling, but I fucking forgot all of it. She told me how gnarly the drugs that she's on are. Like these are top level, like this is gnarly shit that she's on, right? She told me about it and I forgot. Hey, I'd forget my shoes if you didn't have them tied to my feet. So one of the main things that happened when she got to Tassie was to try to find a doctor, a legitimate doctor, that she can then have that doctor talk to her other doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists up in New South. They'd both converse, and then all of a sudden they'd give the approval through the government and they'd say, okay, so this does check out. You can now go and get these benzo drugs, and then you can continue on your medicated path. And so that didn't happen. She gets to Tassie, she can't get those drugs. Very, very difficult. And she's frustrated and she's almost finished. And then she does finish these benzos and she goes into benzo withdrawal. Now, I don't know what that, I mean, I've got benzos right here, but I'm going to address that later. But I don't know what the withdrawal of benzodiazepines means, but I know it's gnarly. And she spiraled into multiple different states of dysregulation, disassociation. She has a horrible time with excess stimuli. If there's something happening, like let's say there's a compressor working in the next door house, or there's a kid bouncing a ball or something, it can really set her, and she just goes nuts, right? Like it's horrible. It's horrible for her. Okay, so it took her a long time to find a doctor. I'm stuck with my notes here. I think I said all that. Yeah, it took her a long time to find this particular doctor, a GP, right? And she finally did. She found this doctor called Dr. Alpha. Now, this is a doctor that, I'm just going to say this, I've never heard of this before. He is above and beyond the requirements of a doctor. And this is like, there's two things to this. There's an epic amount of jealousy from me, and then there's this epic amount of like knight in shining armor about what he's doing. Let me just explain. So in Australia, GPs, you usually go to them with your problem and they prescribe you whatever it is and you get better. Now with mental health, your prescriptions are so intense and you need constant supervision. And if you start spiraling, you can end up in a manic state, depressed state, suicidal state. Sophia has she has told me of 2 instances where she has wound up in the hospital after trying to take her own life. So there's a very serious and a very frightening reality that if she doesn't have these drugs, that could be game over for her. She could be in such a position where nothing is working, and the only solution for her, as I said, her brain doesn't function like our brains. The only way out for her is to self-harm, which she does, or just kill herself. And it's happened twice where she's been hospitalized due to that. Now, I'm not going to go into the specifics of those incidences. I only know the details of one of them, the full details, but it's irrelevant. The point of it is this Dr. Alpha has understood this because he is he's a practicing doctor in the same field. So she has Asperger's as one of many things. So does he. He has relatable life experience that I don't have, and she and him connect with that connection to the point where he has offered her like a lifeline. Like if you're in a state of whatever and you're feeling like that's it for me, pick up your phone, message me like an emoticon, a flower emoticon, and he'll get that, and he'll know that just seeing that flower is like, that's a crisis. That's a trauma. That's a crisis situation that I need to respond to ASAP. And what he does is, and he doesn't just do this for her, right? He will go to their house and he will sit with his patient and he will be there until they are off the cliff, so to speak, walk them off the ledge. He will do that any hours of the night, 24/7. You can do that with him. Now, I'd never heard of that before. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought that was illegal. I didn't think a doctor could go to a patient's house. That seems a little personal, but apparently it's not. The first time this happened was a very sad, and I responded horribly to this, but I believe that my response was natural. It was one evening and she just wasn't replying to anything, and her phone was just going we talk every single fucking day, right? We either FaceTime or we would VR or we'd message daily, and I'd be working late and she'd be VRing, and we were in contact. We were in close contact all the time, all the time. I'd wake up and I'd send her my VR of my dream. That's how, even if my dream was just insignificant, I'd be like, here's my dream from last night. What about that? How about that? I caught a porcupine with a rabbit snare. What the, something dumb, right? We were close contact, which is what you should be in a relationship. I loved that. I loved telling her innocuous dreams, and I loved farting at the end of it, because when you wake up, you always fart. I loved that about her, right? Just the closeness, even though she's miles away, the closeness was rad. So in this instance, she just wasn't responding. She just wasn't replying to me. I cannot remember. I think I messaged her mum. I don't remember. That might have been a different time. But either way, no one could get through to her. Now, when she finally did respond, it was her FaceTiming me back. And the thing is, when she responded, she holds up her phone And she's like, oh, hey. And she's really happy, like really happy. And it's dark, the lights are low, and her hair is out, and she's on the couch, and her dog is out, and she pans the camera around and says, oh, Dr. Alpha's still here. And it's like, I think it's 11 p.m. at that point, maybe a bit later. And I'm like, oh, Dr. Alpha's still there? Oh, okay. I think he was due at 6 or something, and he's been there till 11. So in my mind, they had dinner together. They ate together. And I was like, that's a date, right? And he's sitting on the couch with her. And I was like, that's a date. What am I missing here? Am I not allowed to conclude that? Like it looked like she never has her hair out, right? Or very, very seldom does she take her hair out. She's got such beautiful, beautiful long brown hair. It's so stunning. And I always say, can you take it out for me? And she does. She'll take it out for me on the phone, and I lose myself in that waterfall of her hair. I can just... And when I saw that she had her hair out for him, I instantly got jealous. And he's sitting on the couch, a 2-seater couch. It's late at night. They're playing with the dog. It just seemed sketchy to me. Now, we went on, and she assured me there is nothing going on here. He is doctor-patient relationship. That's it. And I'm just going to say, I struggled with that. I struggled with it, but I understand it. I get that she definitely needs this doctor. Like this is a fucking godsend. To have this kind of a doctor in her life is like, it literally is a lifeline, like literally. And I'm not just saying that as like, they say literally all the time. No. I'll tell you in a minute. She was in the process of hanging herself. She was in her garage digging through boxes to find a rope to hang herself when Dr. Alpha called her. Now that is literally a lifeline. What if he didn't call her? What if he hadn't have called? Would she have hung herself? Would she be dead right now? More than likely. And what would that happen? What would that leave us with? Nothing. No more Sophia. Nothing. Like just a flat line gone. So this doctor is a lifeline for her. And I had to sit with this because I've been cheated on in the past many, many, many times. I have never cheated on a partner ever, but I've been cheated on nearly every time. And it's always the ones you least expect, such as Toad from Toad Hall. Side story, Haley cheats on me with this absolute, looks shouldn't be important, but when we met this guy for the first time, we both made comments that guy looks like Toad from Toad Hall. And if you know who that is, you'll know what we're referring to. A rather large man he played guitar in this jam band at this pub in North Adelaide. And that's the guy that she left me for. That's the fucking guy she left me for. So I'm just saying it's always the least one you expect, right? Like I'm not Adonis here, but he definitely is not Adonis. And I'm not saying it's just about looks. I'm just saying. So when this came up with this Dr. Alpha, I was triggered. I was triggered, but I had to wrestle with it. And I did. I wrestled with this and I said to myself, no, this is extremely important for her. And when another thing happened, we tried to, she said, well, why don't you come into a consult with me, like on FaceTime? I'll bring you in on a consult and you can meet Dr. Alpha and we can all talk. I'm like, that is great. Thank you. Yeah, that would really help. That'd be good. And of course, then she didn't do that. She said, I'd walk in with you, and she didn't. She went in, and like an hour later, I'm like, what's going on? Why didn't you? And she's in the consult. And so when she finally did call me, she's like, oh, we just talked about this and that. It wasn't really important for you to be there. I was like, wait a second. I really needed to be there. Like I needed to be there to be assured of this. And you just went ahead and did the consult without me anyway. And she said, well, you're here now. And by that stage, I was in a noisy environment and the noise cancelling on the AirPods and shit. Whenever this Dr. Alpha spoke, I couldn't hear him. I just could not hear him. If for some reason, whatever he said, just the AirPods just cut it out. So I said to him, just I said, I can't hear you, but just hear this. Hear this. I said, I'm so thankful for you, and I'm so thankful that Sophia has met you because she needs you, and we need you in this relationship. We need you for her health. So thank you. And I hope he heard that, because I didn't hear what he said back, and that was that. We were done with that three-way conversation, and then we moved on. And from then, I've been understanding what my role means. Once I could get past this jealousy ridiculousness, which is what it is, because there's nothing there. Once I could get past that, I then understood what my role is in this new dynamic. My role, and by the way, I've said this already, you're not there to fix her. All you're there to do is be her lover and be her support. So now that she has a doctor who is there to fix her, that is literally his job. He is there to fix. I can then take a little bit of a back seat, and I can sort of retaliate. No. Reverse. What's the word where you go back a bit? I can take a step back. And I understood that. And I did. And I still would ask her questions. But what I noticed is that she would very reluctantly speak about anything to do with her mental health. I would ask less. It's probably it's a twofold thing, because I would ask less questions, but she would also volunteer a lot less. Now, it's obvious that she was giving all that information to the person that it mattered most to, her doctor, right? But I also started feeling like I'm being left out here, and I didn't like that. But that's the nature of that relationship. You're the partner, you're not the doctor, so sit the fuck down and be the partner. So let's get back on track here, because I'm meandering, but it's all part of the script, if you like. Okay, so we can now fast forward a little as she met this doctor. And by the way, for those who are just joining us, I'm not addressing the chat. I see there's comments, but I'm not addressing that. I'm here to deliver this, and then we'll take a pause, and then we'll talk about the community and what's going on with this channel. But I just want to do this because it's going to keep me accountable. I'm going to watch this back, and I'm going to know that I've done the right thing. So we can now fast forward a little. She met this doctor. Not only is he helping her with the mental health, but he's also relatable. Yeah, because they suffer the same disorders. He has lived experience, and I understood it there. Blah, 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 we've done this. Okay. So what happened instead, I told you, Sophia was retreating from me. And what I found was she was actively pushing me aside more and more. And I'm not disagreeing with that, but that's just the matter of fact. She's on the autism spectrum, and I understand with autism you don't take things personally, but I struggled to not take that personally because I felt like she was pushing me aside because she doesn't need me anymore. Whereas the reality of it was that she was pushing me aside because she now has a legitimate source of help, and I can't offer her that. So that's what I needed to grasp, and I struggled and I failed. In this instance, I failed. And it's not the first, and it's not the second, it's not the third, and it wasn't the last time that I failed. I failed a lot with this mental health, with Asperger's in particular. I failed horribly with that. A lot of the reasons we fought was because I didn't have the ability to adequately respond to someone with Asperger's. That's it. My intentions were always 100% legit, and I only came at it from a place of love, but I just didn't have the skills. I didn't have the wherewithal to be able to know what to do. I don't have that experience. I have it now. So any women out there with Asperger's, come to me. I can deal with that. I know what to do. I'm being facetious. So where are we? Okay, so as time moved on, she retreated further and further away from me up until the point most recently when I was in Adelaide. I was over there with By Demons Be Driven 5 days for a festival, photo shoots and whatnot. And she went into close down mode with me. Like, aside from the first couple of days where we were driving and, you know, I always shared my location with her so she could track me. Like, it's a safety thing. She had my Find My on on GoVan with an AirTag, and she also had my phone was tracked to her so she could know where I was. And she was saying things like, "Oh, it's very brown over there. I didn't know Adelaide was so brown." There was that. There was a little bit of back and forward. But what really stood out to me was one night when James's partner, so James is the drummer in the band, his partner, she's got a little side hustle where she makes cookies and cakes and she sells them. Like she does the full cellophane shrink wrapping and she sells them at local stalls and stuff. And Sophia is a wonderful cook. Like she bakes like a mofo. Like some of the stuff that she baked for me is easily, like she could open up a cafe 100%. Like she said, I can't do that because I spend too much time making these and it's too delicate. She part of Asperger's is she's so focused on something, she'll do something and she'll do it as good as it can be done. And I've attested to that. So's Poopsie. We loved all her food that she gave us. So I sent her photos of these cakes and these cookies, and I thought she'd go, "That's amazing. Take closer photos. Show me the icing sugar. Show me how does she shrink." She didn't. She just didn't respond. Just nothing. Like no response to that at all. And I was like, "That's weird." Okay. So I went on and did my thing. We did this festival in Port Lincoln, and we did this big drive, and I was so alone on that trip. I felt like I have a girlfriend, but right now I'm alone. She doesn't want to be a part of this. She didn't ask me anything about it. Like I'm there, I'm photographing these bands. I did a promo shoot and we did all this cool stuff and she didn't ask me about it. Like even to this day, she's never, I mean, it's not going to happen now, but she just never asked me about it. It's like, and I'm there. The really sad thing about that is I'm in Adelaide with dudes that, you know, I've done photo shoots with James and his other band, Burn Collect, with Haley. So James knows my scenario and I'm there and I'm respectful of Sophia's privacy. So I used to have her on my phone as my lock screen, and I showed her before I left to go to Adelaide. I changed it back to that frog, the southern brown tree frog. I changed it so that when my phone would light up, no one would see my beautiful girlfriend. Her name's not Sophia, but nobody else knows that. So I respected her, and I was like a little schoolboy. I was frothing. Any moment I could get, I'd talk about her to these guys because this is the first time I'm back in Adelaide and I'm talking about a new relationship 13 years after one that caused me to leave Adelaide and lose all of my networks. I lost a whole bunch of friends. I lost a whole bunch of work. I lost everything when I left Adelaide. My own doing. I shouldn't have left, but that's a different story. But being back there with Sophia in my pocket, so to speak, I was like, yeah, my girlfriend's rad. You should see this. You should see that. And I was talking her up, talking her there. I was so psyched and so stoked. And all the while, she was just retreating from me, pushing me aside. Didn't want to know anything about me. We would I tried to call, talk. There was no time to be able to talk. Now, what I didn't know at the time is that she was going into a pretty heavy dysregulation state. Dysregulation is something that she goes through quite often. Her body just does not know how to cope. She shuts down entirely. She just breaks loose and nothing gets through. She's like a stone wall. And she was in the process of hitting that. And so and she did say at one point, I didn't want to disturb you with it because you're busy and I don't want to, she said, I still don't know what this was, but she said one night it was so bad that if I told you things that happened, you would be so shocked that I don't want to tell you. So I fear that she actually did put the noose around the neck that night. I don't know, but she wouldn't tell me. I guess I'll never know, but she went into a dark, dark place and she shut me the fuck out. And to the point where even when we got back, we still couldn't talk about it. I still don't know what happened. She still hasn't, and she never will, but I'm saying like I was left in a horrible state. I wanted to be there. I wanted to support her. I wanted to be the boyfriend I would have got on a plane from Adelaide Airport and flown to fucking Tasmania on the spot. If she had have said, I need you here now, I would have gone directly from Adelaide to Port Lincoln. From Adelaide, I would have gone directly to Tasmania if she had have asked me to. That's what you do for someone that you love. And I would have done that, but she just shut me out And all the while, the 9-hour drive back from Port Lincoln to Adelaide, I was worried, absolutely fucking sick about her. I thought she was dead. She just completely locked me out. I drank a lot of Jack. I mixed Jack with a slushie. That's not cool. Never do that. Get real Coke. Jack and a Slurpee doesn't work at all. But it was 38 degrees in Port Augusta. Let's continue on. She pushed me aside. I'm in Adelaide. Cupcakes, dysregulation. Okay, so here we go. By the way, can I also just say this? In all of this conversation, I'm not ever suggesting that I'm adequately equipped to like talk her off a ledge. Like Dr. Alpha is medically trained. He can walk her off that ledge. I'm metaphorically speaking here when she's suicidal. I'm not ever suggesting I have those skills, but what I am saying is someone to talk to, someone that you love, someone that you trust, someone that you care for, they can be an open ear that you can scream the fuck into. And I was willing and ready for her to scream into my ear about everything that's going on, and I would just listen. I'm not there to judge. I'm there to listen. I'm there to love her. I'm there to care for her. And I would have said to her, if you want me to, I will be there. I will come there for you if you want that. And I've saved up enough money for this road trip. I'm ready to drop it and do whatever she needs. But she wasn't taking my calls. Okay, so when she finally did respond to me, it was a warning of sorts. Now, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this to you because this is important. I'm going to read part of this message. And by the way, this is personal, but I think it's important to read it because it's a big part of this story, even though it is personal. I won't read it all. And then and by the way, reading this is good because I am about to erase all of this anyway. So, okay, so I'm not going to read this whole message, but this is her saying. She says, I need a type and level of support from you, especially now with how unstable and fragile my mental state is at the moment, that you are not able to give me because you can't physically be here with me in person. And you need a type and a level of support from me that I'm not able to provide you because I can't physically be there with you in person. By the way, this is a long sentence. It's punctuated with commas, but I think this is all one sentence. It is. Okay, I'll start again. I need a type and level of support from you, especially now with how unstable and fragile my mental state is at the moment, that you are not able to give me because you can't physically be here with me in person, and you need a type and a level of support from me that I'm not able to provide you because I also can't physically be there with you in person, and also because I'm struggling so much right now with my own mental struggles. With my own mental health, that it's leaving little to no brain capacity left for me to be able to interact. This is important. I shouldn't have stopped. I saw the chat message. I'm not going to look at the chat. Sorry, I just caught my eye off the slide. I'm going to look at it this way. You need a type and level of support from me that I'm not able to provide because I can't physically be there with you in person, and also because I'm struggling so much right now with my own mental health. It's leaving little to no brain capacity left for me to able to interact and connect with you in a way that is necessary for us to successfully maintain our relationship from a distance. And that is very mentally taxing for me to keep you informed of and to try and explain to you my current daily struggles with my mental health because you can't relate to it and you don't intrinsically understand it because you don't have your own personal lived experience or similar mental health problems, which contributes to the disconnect between us, especially considering we cannot be together in person and replace or override, she said, I don't know if those are the correct words, some of that disconnect between us with physical closeness. She said, that kept me awake all night because I don't know what that means for us going forward, but I know that the current state of our relationship isn't sustainable for me and it isn't sustainable for you. So she's at that point, she is acknowledging And she is making it very clear to me that with us being apart, it's not working for her. Now, I repeat and I remind you of what I said 5 minutes earlier, is that had she have called me the night when she tried to hang herself and her doctor called, had she have rung me and said, I'm in a horrible state, this is where my mind is, I would have literally said to her, I'm flying there to you now. I'm flying to be with you. She is literally saying that she needs someone to be right there with her. I was willing and ready to do it, but she never answered my fucking calls. She would not respond to me. I never got the chance to say that to her, but I felt like she should know that. She should have known that. She did know that. She shut me out, but she knew that I would have gone to her. She knows that. She did that one night for me. One night I was here and I had a horrible time, and it was late at night and I was just in a horrible state, and I said, I can't sleep and I'm all messed up. And she's like, leave the gate open, I'm coming over. I'm like, no, you're not. Don't come over here. I don't want you to come. I'm messed up. Do not come over. She said, shut the fuck up. Open the gate, I'm coming. And she drove here at like 12:30 at night, and she stayed here with me until I was better. And she drove home at God knows what, 3, 4 in the morning. She is rad, but she did not give me a chance. She shut me out. And I'll reread this. When she says, you don't have the personal lived experiences of a similar mental health problem which contributes to the disconnect between us, especially considering we cannot be together in person. That's the kicker. We could not be together in person because of our physical distance. So here's my response. I said, you know what? I don't think I should read this because it's very personal. I'll give you the synopsis. I talked to her about she's not the same person I fell in love with. I said, you're being more selfish than you ever have been. You show a shocking lack of respect for me. Okay, I probably should address this. So there's been this is a bit private, right? But there's obviously, when you're living apart from someone, there's no sexual connection, right? Like I've had phone sex. Everyone has, right? Like there are things that you can do with your partner to keep each other spiced up, right? Like you can send, and she did. She sent loads of cool, sexy, like there's things that you can do for each other. I'd offered to, maybe I'll hold that. But anyway, there's things that can be done. And as this moved on further and further, due to her mental state, her libido vanished, like completely vanished. She was going to see a doctor about it, but she just never did. The primary concern is that she continues to live. We can fuck later, right? We can have sex later, as long as she's alive, right? I'm not into that weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to, and I knew that we need, and sometimes I would go, I'm just missing you, and I'm sometimes I would talk a little more about my feelings, and I wasn't being mindful of the fact that she's not there for that. She's just not, her mind space is not there for that. And I was a little bit aloof to it. I get that. She would remind me. Something so subtle as she sent me a message saying she got a new iPhone, and she said something to the effect of, and we're going to use that to take all of our photos. And I thought she meant we're going to use her phone to take sexy photos because my phone is now the old phone. So her phone's going to be way better. And so I said, I've got some great ideas. I want to bring my main camera, set up some gels and do all this. And she's like, her response was, you have to talk to me about this beforehand. You can't just spring it up upon me. My mental health, my state's not there. And I was like, damn it, I messed that up. And I jumped to the conclusion that when she said we should use her phone to take photos, I thought she meant sexy photos together, but no. So that's one of the points that I mentioned in mine, that you've been very like you've let me go, like I can't even explain this without You remember Marty? I can't even explain why I'm bringing this up without explaining what Marty did, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say there was an element of sex which did enter the equation. The key point here is that I understood that I needed to allow her, or not allow, I needed to focus on her health first as a priority, and everything else will fall suit underneath it. By the way, I don't have any mods anymore, so this fucking fuckwit that's trolling me on YouTube, fuck off. This is important. You can fuck right off. Stop putting that shit in the chat. I don't have any mods because my community is gone. I deleted everybody. We'll talk about that later. I said, you leave my messages in a delivered state for over 12 hours, even if I respond literally the moment you send something. I think she turned off read receipts. And so when she would send me something, I'd be responding immediately and say, I'm feeling this or that. And then she just wouldn't respond for like hours. And that's so unlike her. Like we would normally be bantering back and forward, and I'd see when she read it, and I think she just turned all that off. She turned off read receipts, I think. I said, I want to be close to you. I'm actively looking at ways to change my life, to get down to Tasmania, to be alongside you, to grow old together. But for the last month or so, you've shown me nothing in return, and it feels fucking horrible. So that's the point. So 2 days goes by, and she hasn't responded to what I sent. I start to get frantic. I wonder if she's killed herself. Again, no read receipts, no ability for me to reach out to her, no way to contact her because she's just not responding. So I assume the worst, and I do that a lot. But okay, look, I'm not okay. You can fuck off. The chat can go fuck yourself. I wish I had some mods. I'm just not going to look at it. So I get frantic. My fears come rushing. Okay, so all of my fears come rushing to the surface, and I start to lose control of myself. I contact her mother. Her mother goes to do a wellness check on her. She is alive, but she's completely shut down. She won't talk to her mum about anything, and her phone is on silent. I am relieved and asked her to tell her to contact me, which she does not. Sorry, her mother tells her, but Sophia does not contact me. Another day goes by, and she finally rings to break up with me. She rang me and said, I'm breaking up with you. She did that. She did that. She did the thing that she said she wouldn't do. She did the thing that everyone has done to me in the past. They leave. She abandoned me. That's despite all of me daily contact, countless FaceTime calls, VRs, tickets booked for Christmas, road trip for March. None of that made any difference. She just said she's done. She's breaking up with me. Her brain capacity cannot deal with a relationship. A little side note here about Asperger's and her. So Asperger's, people that suffer from Asperger's are very down the line, and she, during the call when she's breaking up with me, her mum was calling, and she says, I've got to take this call from mum, I'll call you back. So she ends the call and speaks to her mum, and then she calls me. And this is kind of funny, but also not. And then when she answers back, she says, oh, sorry about that. Now, where were we? And my response is like, is that all you're sorry about? And she's like, well, what else would I be sorry for? And I'm like, I think I called her a heartless cunt at that point. You just broke up with me. And she's like, oh, that. And like, what my point is, it's kind of funny. Like it's so Asperger's that she was like, I'm sorry that I had to break the call. I'm not sorry about the break up. Well, I am, but that's not what I'm apologizing right now for. And I was like, can I take that one personally? Can I at least take that one personally? So I got strong. In that call, I got strong with her and I said, you're making the dumbest decision of your life right now. This is not the answer. You've got someone here who is willing to change his life for you. You have that and you're willing to throw it away. I said, this is the dumbest thing you could do right now. You're going to regret this. It's the dumbest. I haven't done anything, right? Like if I had done something wrong, I would have been like, I deserve it. I fucked this up. But I didn't. I did not do anything wrong. I showed her over and over and over again my sincerity. I was ready to change my life for her. I would already changed my day-to-day for her by phone calls and staying up late and talking and everything. Like I demonstrated it. And she threw that away because her brain couldn't deal with her mental health and the relationship at the same time. And so I did the thing that I thought I should do and said, because she said, I've been thinking about this for 2 days and I'm sincere about it. This has to happen. I said, well, if that's the case, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. And I've only got 2 things to say to you, goodbye and good luck. And I hung up. And from that moment on, I haven't really stopped crying. And that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I've been bawling my eyes out all the time. I was a big tough guy on the call and then I broke the fuck down. And all night I'm messaging her saying, this is wrong. We deserve better for each other. I'll be there for you. If you just say the words, I'll be on a plane to Tasmania. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be on the first flight to Tasmania. Just say the word. And every single thing and everything I did, everything I sent her, she just ignored, which is fair, right? Like I go into a mental breakdown of my own. I spiral out of control. I had 0 sleep that night, maybe an hour maximum. I was literally VRing her all night. I could not grasp living without her in my life. I was severely depressed and I was self-harming. Something I'm embarrassed to say, and it gets worse, but I'm embarrassed to say I was self-harming that night. It took the form of punching myself in the head over and over and over again until the point where I couldn't feel my hands. They were hitting my head that hard that I couldn't feel anything in my hands. And this one here is still sore from that. I wanted to stop all feeling. I wanted to stop all pain. So I just beat myself up physically until I couldn't feel anything. I literally cried all night. My jaw hurt so bad I couldn't eat. I could not move my jaw because it was just painful to move my jaw because I was crying all fucking night. Every moment of that night was me bawling my eyes out. I had 0 appetite. I was shitting everywhere. My bowels gave way. I was a walking, crying, shitting machine. I went into the shower. I stood in the shower. I shat myself everywhere. Sitting on the floor, there's just shit fucking oozing out of my asshole. Tears running down my face. I was just an absolute fucking wreck. All of the things, all of the good shit, wrong word, but all of the good stuff, it's gone. She just ended it. I wanted to kill myself. I took a water bottle. I filled it up with petrol. I tried to go to work. Can you believe this? I tried to go to work. I drove my work bus. I put this petrol in my bag and I drove my work bus and I got halfway up Forest Road and I pulled over and I was in a manic state, and I messaged her over and over and over again, just extremely violent, extremely aggressive, extremely horrible voice messages. And then I drank the petrol. I drank the fucking petrol. I wanted to end it. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed. If you've ever drank petrol, it fucking burns. Thank fuck I coughed most of that shit up. And I'm talking only about this much. It was the leftover stuff that I had from the Uluru trip in the jerry cans. At the same time I'm there trying to kill myself, my boss rings. My boss calls me and says, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm having a mental breakdown. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I can't." And she said, "Are you able to work?" And I say, "I'm not able to work. I can't do this." And she says, just bring the bus back and just go home. I take the bus back. I pull over multiple times on the way. I'm breaking down. I'm fucking coughing and spluttering, and I'm all over the fucking shop. I'm still sending stupid VRs to her, thinking somehow a VR is going to make it all go away. Dumb. I get GoVan. Where am I? I get GoVan and I drive away from where I park it. Not going to disclose the location. And I go to drive GoVan off the road into a tree. The idea is to floor it and just fucking hit a tree and die. That's how I felt. And that's what I tried to do, but I'm so fucking chicken shit. I didn't even do it. I drove into a bush instead. There's a tree and then there's a bush, and I drive straight into the bush. So I'm obviously not going to kill myself, but I'm so fucked up that I'm like, I'm doing something here to stop the pain. I drive GoVan straight into this bush and I sit there for a stupid amount of time. I VR'd it to Sophia. I VR'd it. As I'm doing it, I'm VRing her. I'm in a deep fucking desperation. I'm in a deep, dark place and I'm desperate, and nothing I'm doing is right, obviously. I felt lost, I felt betrayed, and I felt unwanted, and I felt like I had nothing left at all. When I finally got home here, I self-medicated. I smoked some weed. I have some weed. I've had it for about at least 10 years. An Austrian guy I knew stayed with me, him and his girlfriend. Before they could leave Australia, they said, "We can't fly out with this. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Well, I don't really smoke much weed, but I'll keep it. Don't throw it away." So I kept this bag of weed. Had no papers. I sent a VR or a voice message to a friend from the band and said he likes his pot. I was like, "What can I do with this?" He told me you can crack a can, fold it up, and you can smoke it through the can. So I did. I smoked some weed. I drank rum. I drank whiskey. My sister went and got me over-the-counter doxylamine succinate. That's pretty much the sum of it. Doxylamine succinate. Is that focusing? I hope so. I took those. And the next day I went to my local doctor and I confessed all, and I told him everything. He prescribed me with benzos, diazepam, these. He prescribed me with those. I believe this is a class of Valium. Again, this is stuff that ironically Sophia told me. I know about benzos. I know that Valium is one of them, and I'm pretty certain this is Valium. My doctor was extremely clear. He said, "Do not have any more cannabis, weed, do not smoke anything, and do not drink anything. If you take these, you could die. And he said, are you still in a state of suicide? How much do you feel? How close do you? I can't think of the words he said, but he was saying, do you still feel that way? And I said, no, I don't feel that way. These things helped, and I got sleep. I immediately woke up and VR'd Sophia again and told her why this is the wrong choice. And I do this, and I know that it's wrong, but I do it because I want to fix it, whereas there's no fixing it. It's done. And she's never responding anyway. It's just, I don't even know that she sees it because of the read receipts and stuff. So I've on these benzos, and then this morning, okay, so where are we now? This morning I wake up at 4 a.m. The benzos I'd taken last night. How many VRs did I leave? Why am I reading the chat? I'm not reading the chat. Stop chatting. Stop making chats. I'm not reading them. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning when the benzo that I took last night wore off, and I was yanked out of a dream about Sophia and Maeve, which is her dog, being at a family function of mine with all my deceased family. My dad was there, my nana and my Uncle Mac. Even my foster brother and sister were there. In the dream, they were all super excited to meet her, and they were keen to welcome her into our extended family. It wasn't a wedding, but it had a feeling of a wedding. I lay there until sunup, bawling my eyes out. I was again just extremely, like, this had worn off, and the idea of her in my dream about being in my family, it was too real. And I don't often dream about, my deceased. I dream about my father quite a lot, but the whole family, like Nana and Uncle Mac. And so I lay there in bed bawling until the sun came up. I stood up, I lay back down, I pissed, I shat, I went outside in the pre-dawn, I went back inside, I pissed myself more, I felt sick, no vomit came up. I sat in the toilet, I sat in the shower in the bathroom, just naked, just pissing and shitting, just everything just gives way. Like there's no, oh, you might need to do a fart. No, that's just poo. You're just pooing yourself. It was just all oozing out. Like just nothing was, I don't have control of my body at that point. It's just more diuretic slop. My eyes stung from crying. My head was pounding from the drowsiness of this shit, really drowsy crap. I was a mess. My pillow was soaked with tears. And I kept thinking about all the good that she'd thrown away. Now, I was ready to leave at pre-dawn, or when the sun came up, my decision that I'd made up in my mind. So today, Claudia is coming down, and she is going to be here doing a family celebration of her 21st, which occurred weeks ago. There is the video that I made for her 21st, which she hasn't watched yet, and she is coming here to hang out with us and have fun times. In my head, I was not anywhere near able to be happy and be fun. And so what I decided to do instead was I was just going to leave. I was up early enough. No one else was awake. The sun was just coming up. I got myself a pen and paper and I wrote a note to my sister. I'm going to read it to you. I just got to get it because I threw it in the bin. There's a reason why this is in the bin, but I wrote this note to my sister just so that you know I'm not fucking making any of this up. You can read it if you need it. But I did say, Anya, I need to get away from everything for a while. I cannot be here playing happy families while inside I'm withering away. I have to tune out and to turn off. Sorry to Claudia. And I put that on my table and I turned my computer off. And I put my phone here and turned my phone off and I put it down and I got my keys and I was walking out the door. My idea was to just take GoVan and just drive somewhere and just tune out. Just park somewhere in the bush for a night, maybe 2 nights, and just have no contact. As long as my family knew I was alive, I felt like I could just disappear and not have to deal with playing happy families, and I could just erase myself from that situation. I was about to walk out the door and I remembered something. The irony of this is that Sophia introduced me to this. A gentleman by the name of David Goggins. If you know him, you know what I'm about to tell you. If you don't know him, I suggest you read his book, Can't Hurt Me. In this book, he has a expression, the path of most resistance. The essential message behind this is that you need to tackle things head on, no excuses. He says clearly in this book, if you're in a position like I was in or in a position similar, no one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to take ownership and step the fuck up and do something. Me escaping and going out there into the bush for 2 nights isn't going to do anything. Turning the phone off is a good idea, but going away from the family isn't going to do anything. You need to take ownership. This expression, the path of most resistance, it's unique because it doesn't come up that often in the book, but it comes up enough for it resonated with Sophia enough that she got a tattoo of it on her arm. She has a tattoo down here that has the path of most resistance. People take the path of least resistance typically. Humans often gyrate or gravitate to the most easiest option. Goggins teaches you, you take the harder path and you use your pain and you turn it into a gain. So you take what's been given to you, whether it's fucking horrible, you own it and you make something of it. You fuel your body with the pain. There's a classic tale where this guy, oh my God, this is insane in this book. He does this, I'm just going to turn this AC off. He does this marathon, 150K marathon or something. It's over like 4 days. He's running with no cartilage in his knees. He's got like fucked up shins. He's in a horrible physical condition, yet he runs this marathon and he completes it. He's pissing blood. He's fallen apart. His wife is there to meet him at the finish line. His wife puts him in the car, takes him home, dumps him in a bathtub in his house and says, I'm going to go and call the hospital. We're going to get you to the ER. And you know what he says? Don't. I want this pain. This pain. He said the pain is his reward. He said he used the pain and he wanted to feel the pain to make the reward worthwhile. He just did 150 kilometers running on broken legs. And he said, I want the pain. I want the pain. I want to take from the pain and I want to learn from it. So he didn't go to the ER. So when I remembered that as I'm about to leave the house, I said to myself, what am I doing? I need to harden the fuck up. I need to take this. I need to take this pain. I need to do some things. I need to make some changes and I need to take this pain and I need to turn it around. I need to get my head in a better state because this has happened to me. Even though I don't agree with it, it's happened. I need to deal. No one's coming to save you. She chose this. Sophia chose this for me. I did not choose this. I would not have done this. She did it for me. Shit happens in life. You have to fucking deal with it. So I said to myself, I'm not going to live my life in sadness and pity. I spent the last 3 days crying and beating myself up, doing dumb things in an attempt to end my life, including drinking fucking petrol and driving into a bush. I said to myself, the point is I have been mentally exhausted. I've done some dumb shit. It comes back. The feelings always come back the next day. The feeling of betrayal, abandonment, and loss. I've felt overwhelmed. I'm in a state of shock. She ripped our lives apart in one move, and I've had a horrible time in my own head. I had a complete mental collapse. I had an emotional collapse. I've acted childishly. I've acted like a manic madman, and I see it clearly now. I sent her one last message the day before from the doctor at 11 a.m. Do I read any of that to you? I mean, I could read it to you, but basically it's me just saying, I love you and I would have been there for you had you have asked me. Basically, I said I love you unconditionally. I will still love you once this dysregulation subsides and you see clearly. But I can't change her, right? I can't change her. I said I'll never leave your side. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, basically that's just me again, just being the pitiful, saying I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you. When in actual fact, she's already decided for us. So I said to myself that was sent the day before. This morning when I stood here about to leave and I remembered this Goggins, I said to myself, no more of this. No more pity, no more feeling sorry for myself, no more tears, aside from this stream talking about this. I said no more. No more drugs, no more prescription drugs, no more self-medication drugs. You know what I want to do right now to prove this to you? I'm taking the end of these and I am crushing them and I am flushing them down the toilet. I am not using drugs. I am not using mental health as an escape from this. I am going to take my pain and I am going to transform it into a gain. I'm going to do things that's going to make me feel stronger, mostly surfing. But let me crush this up right now. I'm proving this to you. There are 2 of these fuckers left and they are going in the toilet. How am I going to crush it? I don't have a hammer. I'm going to crush it with my keychain, I guess, this thing. Can you see that? I'm going to just change my camera angle here to the overhead so that you guys can do this. Where's my overhead here? Okay. I'm going to crush this right here. Wow, they're kind of heavy. Dude, they're kind of heavy, eh? Okay, so it's all coming out now as it's a powder. You can see it's a powder there. That's the powder. There's none more in there. I'm taking this now. I could go and flush this down the toilet, but I know what would happen. People would say he didn't flush it down the toilet. He put it into a little baggie. Then watch this. Fucking done. I'm not touching any of that shit. I'm done with that. I'll vacuum that shit up. But if you thought I was joking, I fucking well wasn't. I'm gogginsing the fuck out of this. I am taking hold of this pain and I am using it for my own fucking gain. I am not going to let this girl fuck me over. She chose this for us. It's the wrong thing, but she can fucking have it. She can live with that. I'm not going back down this avenue. I'm done with this. No more drugs, no more pity. I've removed all of her photos from my phone and now I'm going to delete her messages, including, sadly, the way that we met, which involves me somewhat unethically taking her number from my run sheet at work. If I don't do this, I risk contacting her again. There's my phone, my lock screen. I've changed it. I used to have a beautiful image of her on there. Now I've just got the Bitcoin price that I can see at a glance and a lovely blue sky. Now I'm going to show you that I am going in. I'm going to still protect her identity because she deserves her privacy. But there's a few messages above her, but I don't want you to see her number. But the message that starts with, "Please girl, if any part of you still loves me and wants this to work, we can make it." It's that message yesterday underneath that, "Please girl." Trying to protect her phone number from you seeing it. I'm going to, you saw it. Oh, that's just the message. I'm going to delete. I'm literally deleting every fucking message that we've ever had together. Everything's gone. This is all going to be going right. Watch this. I can't do this with one hand. I'm doing it. Can I do it? Oh, you can't do it. I got to do it this way. Just trust me. Okay. This conversation, what does it say? Focus. Hello. Why won't that focus? Fucking kidding me? This conversation will be deleted from all your devices. That is literally every single thing that we've seen, that we've sent each other. And it's gone. Done. I've also deleted her number from my phone. You can't see that because it's not there. You saw that it was just a phone number, so there's no contact number. I've erased her from my phone. I've deleted all of our conversation. So there is no way that I can reach out to her in a state of crisis because I'm not going to be in a state of crisis. I'm done with that. I'm moving past it. I'm taking ownership of this. Even though it was sent to me, it was given to me by someone who. Let me be clear about this. This is the wrong choice for her. She's made the wrong choice, but I can't change that. So now I'm just going to accept it. Let me continue on because I have other things to do. I changed my lock screen. I showed you that. I messaged her mum this morning. I said, thank you. I'll let it go from today onwards. It's her loss. And then I said just before, I said, this is to her mother. I said, I'm going to unfriend you here along with her father and sister-in-law. This is from Facebook. I said, before I go, I want you all to know my love for Sophia was genuine. I was very much looking forward to moving there to be a part of the family and to share our lives together. Me removing these connections is part of what I need to do to remove the only remaining connection I have to Sophia. Thank you for helping as you have. And then I put auntie in brackets, in inverted commas, auntie, her name. Let's just call her Justine, Auntie Justine. You have a lovely daughter. Please look after her for me. She replied initially with a thumbs up, which is a bit strange, but then she said, please take care, Ben, and she kissed me. So I'm going to do this now. You guys won't see this, but I'm just doing it. And I'm doing it so I'm accountable. I'm being accountable here. I'm doing it right here, right now. Unfriend, done, and her father. Unfriend, confirm, yes, and now her sister-in-law. I'll just go and find, there's also, I have a pending friend request to her brother as well, but it's still pending. I'll just cancel that. That's been pending for months. I don't think he uses Facebook. I just cancelled the friend request, and now I'll go back to her, who he's married to, and unfriend. So now that that's done, there is absolutely zero way for me to contact her. Absolutely zero chance that I can if I wanted to. Now, what I haven't done is I haven't blocked Sophia. My gut feeling is that when she comes to realize what she's done, and when her mental state is leveled out and she's more thinking, like when her capacity to think is back, she may reach out to me, and I'm being as honest as I can be about everything. If that ever happens, I'm there for her. I love this girl. I did not go into this relationship easily. I'm not going out of it easily. I'm kicking and screaming, but I have let go. But if she ever came back to me and said, whatever's happened and it's horrible, but here's the way I've fixed it, or here's what I've done in the time that we haven't been together, and blah blah blah. I'm ears, right? Like I'm not a sadistic person. I'm not like I'm just here to anyway, that whatever. That's what is. But I threw the tablets away. Oh, also, I've changed my work schedule. I have had a phone call this morning with my boss, and I said to her, I am only, and I mean only, strictly, I am only working 3 days a week. I do not, like what I've always done with this job is that I've always said, I only want to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but if you need me for Fridays and Mondays and the weekends, and if I'm not busy, I'll work. No. From now on, I'm living my life. I'm doing the things, what I'm doing. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be surfing a lot more. I'm going to get right back into surfing. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to stay healthy, and I'm going to surf as much as I possibly can. I'm going to replace the pain, and I'm going to turn it into gain, and the gain is going to be surfing. Whenever I'm feeling lousy, I'm going to go. I'm very fortunate. The ocean is right here. I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to look at the beach, and I'm going to assess whether it's surfable, and I'm going to go surfing, and I'm going to document it. And if it's not great, I'm still going to go surfing. I'm just not going to document it. I'll just take the board out and go for a paddle and just get out there and get the sunshine, get the salt water, and I'm going to feel better. I'm also going to actively search for a new partner. I want to find someone who respects and appreciates my love and who can offer that in reply, even in the hardest of times. And I will tell you this is a side note. There was a girl the other week that I met after the Pixies. It's a weird turn of events. This girl, I don't even want to, no, it doesn't matter. But the point of it was that it surprised me that somebody showed interest to me recently. So I'm just saying that I'm not. I mean, I'm an older guy, right? Like I'm nowhere near my prime, but there has been an instance recently, twice actually, once at Pixies and once at Metallica the next night, where they're had I not been in a relationship, let's just say there could have been a story to tell. But anyway, now, am I expecting Sophia to see this? Well, look, possibly. But she has removed herself from everything connected to me. She's out of my Discord, stopped sharing location, shared pins with Govan. I'm out of the family group chats, the Christmas Kris Kringle stuff. She erased me from all that stuff. On the odd chance that, Sophia, you are seeing this, whether it be now or years down the track or whenever it is, the message from her to me, the message from you to me has sunk in. You don't want me. You don't want or appreciate what I was offering you. I understand this. You have chosen to end it with me because you can't deal with both your mental health and me. I was always here for you. Whenever you needed it, I would have been there for you. You just had to ask. When I feel any pain, I feel like crying, I'm going to go for a surf. That's me goggedzing the fuck out of this. The only thing I haven't done yet is to cancel my ticket for Christmas. So I've got a ticket to Tasmania for Christmas. And I think, I'll be honest, I think I'm still going to go. I think I'm going to go to Tassie and just run amok. I've got a ticket. It's already paid for and booked. Why don't I just go down there, Christmas, New Year's, go crazy in Tasmania and see what I can do. Like I could probably get the whole population pregnant if I tried. Do I hate Sophia? Nope. I still love her deeply. I still love Sophia. And I pity her right now. I pity her. Not only has she been given a hard lot in life with her mental health, she's thrown away something rad. There's no reason to boot me out of your life. No reason. I was here for you and I would have been there for you. You booted me out. You need someone. You need me and you booted me. Horrible, horrible, horrible decision. Dumb decision. To coin a phrase from Goggins, nonetheless, I wish you had have calloused your mind. You know about callousing your mind. You should have calloused your mind. You should have fought instead of giving up, and you should have seen what you're throwing away, because this This, what I was giving you, and you know this from all the letters and all the notes and all the cool stuff and everything we've done together, you know this was genuine and you still threw it away. Had I have shown you any reason to doubt me, I'd accept it, but I haven't. And you know that. So you will regret that. Now that does end the concept that I wanted to come out here and address the breakup. I feel like I've done that succinctly. I mentioned surfing and I mentioned doing a lot more surfing. I have been surfing today. I want to roll a clip for you. And in the 3 minutes that the clip rolls, I'm going to run out and I'm going to come back here and I'm going to talk about what this means for the community, because there is a side effect to my YouTube channel and my community, which has also played out a little over the last few weeks. And I want to address that just briefly. So if you're interested in seeing what I feel like we should be doing here on this with this community, because there's been a trust breach and I'm quite upset with that, but I'm willing to. Anyway, I'm going to play this clip. This is my surfing from today, and I'll see you back. If I'm not back in time, there will be a blowfly doing aerobics on a piece of styrofoam. That's true too. You wait and see. I'll be right back. All right, so let's move on and now discuss this community, because in the time that I've been, so those that know, but anyway, so when I kept my relationship with Sophia to myself for a bunch of time. I didn't want to introduce her to the community. She takes her privacy very seriously, and she doesn't want to be known on. She wants to be private. So I've respected that, and there was 2 breaches of that privacy from people I trusted very, very dearly in my community, and there was another breach from someone who. Such a shame. This person was possibly one of the first followers of mine, and she really went over and above and basically ended our friendship because of something. The point of it is, the core pillars of my community, these 3 people, have each made it very clear what they thought about me and my relationship, and the 2 others, that's one, but the 2 others breached the trust of the community and spread her name around when she did not want that to happen, and I did not want that to happen, and it breaks my heart that happened. So where we are right now, and the reason there's so much fuckery in my chat is because I don't have any mods. I've unmodded everybody. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to come back to live streaming. I wanted to do this today just to hold myself accountable. I wanted to make sure that if I put this on the internet, there is no fucking backing down from it. This is out there, and this is how I'm going to spend the rest of my existence. I'm not like, I can't go back. I can't message her. This is me being accountable for myself. Instead of wallowing in pity and feeling sorry, I'm moving past that. I'm taking accountability. I'm goggling the fuck out of it. This community, whatever happens, if I stream again, maybe I'll stream in a month, maybe I'll stream in a week, maybe I'll stream tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I don't have a community. I don't have a partner. I have myself, and I'm going to focus on myself, and I'm going to do shit for myself, and whatever comes from that comes from that. So that's what I wanted to say at this second part of the stream. And everybody that's been popping off in the chat, go fuck yourselves. I don't give a shit what you've been saying. I only did this for myself, so fuck all of you. You can fuck right off. I don't give a fuck what anyone was saying in my chat. I'm not going to look back at it. You can all fuck off.
Screaming every night, building up the sway. But as the sight faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms just to do the fray. Got my crew behind me, yeah, we call them givers. Chillin' IRL, catching all the rivers. Farkle in the chat, bringing lost to the grind. Talking crypto games while we sipping Jack Fine. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart. New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always look